This is the show where two friends from different parts of the world discuss all things, all elite wrestling. And one of them actually knows what they're talking about. We'll let you decide. Welcome to the Beauty and the Beard Pro Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Woody and Sarah.
So this is a brand new episode of our question and answer session, which we're now going to call the one with the Q&A bit.
Yes.
Thanks to Sarah. I'm going to give you credit for that one. So,
I'm a Friends fan.
Yes. I did mention it, and she said, "Yeah, let's do that."
Yeah, let's do that.
She was gung ho when she heard it. Gung ho. She as soon as I mentioned it, she went and changed the first one.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that's it. Like I could hear her typing. She made it happen. This is where you ask the questions and we try to answer them.
Yeah.
And 60% of the time, we are right every time. True story.
Oh, we try.
Yep. So, Sarah?
Are you ready for your first question, sir?
Absolutely. Hit me with it.
The first question comes from somebody called Jazzy Bella Moxley. I wonder why I chose this question.
The Moxley fans picking the Moxley fans question.
So their question is, what is your favorite thing about AEW? Can you name one?
If I could name two, it would be Nick and Matt.
I knew you'd do that. I knew you would say that.
And only because that's coming from a Moxley fan.
Don't annoy us. We gang up together.
I know. I'm just opening myself up for abuse on this one. But yeah. No, I don't know. In all honesty, the thing I love about AEW, if I had to pick one quality about AEW that draws me to it, it is the feeling that the wrestlers have control over their characters.
Yeah.
That their promos are unscripted. They feel a little more freedom for creativity to flow in AEW. Again, I'm not behind the scenes. I don't know how the process actually works. But from the things I hear in interviews and just the feeling I get from watching the show, it feels like there's a lot more freedom there than there in comparison, which the main other company I ever watched was WWE, WWF. And in comparison to that, yes, this feels like there is more freedom there. And even I'm a WCW fan from back in the 90s and very early 2000s. Very early 2000s before they were bought by WWE. I'm not that old. Come on, man.
You're a decade on me.
Yeah, I do have a decade on you. That's right. But yeah, even compared to that, I mean, because that seemed a little more like, Wild Kingdom in action over on WCW, but it still didn't. It still felt fairly scripted, like there was somebody in control pulling all the strings.
Yeah.
And although there is somebody pulling the strings in AEW, it just feels like the person pulling those strings is giving the wrestlers more freedom. So
yeah,
that would be the freedom.
Yeah.
How about you?
For me, it's kind of on the same lines, but it's just how when you're watching it, it just feels natural. It doesn't feel like you're watching this shiny overproduction, like flamboyant in your face TV show. It feels like you're just watching people get in arguments and fight about it, and it just feels like a natural thing that's happening. It doesn't feel like they're guiding you in any which way to make you think one way. You have your own choice in the way they present it all to you. You can make that choice. Like if you want to be a fan of the Young Bucks, the meanness and everything, you can do that.
Yes, you can.
If you want to stand with the guys that fight for the people that are on the edge of society, like me, then you stand with those people. You're allowed to do that.
You are.
Yeah, and also the depth of everything in it is just feels, like I said, naturally. It just feels more And I know it's wrestling, but it feels, inverted commas, realistic. And I know, you know, you can say what you want, but it just feels that way for me. So I love it. I don't want to watch anything else regarding wrestling.
No, and that's the thing. And if you're new to the show, then you may not realize, like Sarah and I, that's all we watch is AEW. That's it. Now we may dip our toe into watching an Impact pay-per-view because Kenny Omega's in the main event, or watching a New Japan show because Moxley's on it, or something. I'm thinking with the AAA Triple Mania that's going to happen with Kenny Omega and Andrade. I may watch that, but it's always because there's an AEW wrestler involved. So it's always the wrestling world to us revolves around AEW.
Because a lot of the AEW storylines that even go to different promotions, they somehow can filter back. So they do reward you for watching the other stuff as well when part of their roster goes there. So that's what I mean by naturally. It doesn't feel like it's like stuck in its own little bubble and that's it. There is like a natural kind of fluidity around it. So I love it. Do you have a question?
I do have a question. And this question is from Arman Khan. I hope I got your name correct.
Hello.
Do you think Black, as in Aleister Black, Riot, as in Ruby Riot, and Murphy, as in Buddy Murphy, will be good additions to AEW? So what do you think about these former WWE wrestlers? Would they be good for AEW?
They're all amazing, and shame on WWE for releasing them. But I don't know too much of Buddy Murphy's work because I think he kind of came more into like mainstream TV stuff with WWE when I stopped watching it. Like the whole thing with Seth, I didn't see any of that. And I never really watched NXT either. So the two for me that I personally would really want in AEW is Aleister Black, aka Tommy End, or Ruby Riott. I'd love her in there because I think the women's division in AEW is getting started and it's getting deeper. But I like the different styles and the different like characteristics of all the wrestlers out there. And I think those two coming in, like you could see Aleister Black going up against Darby Allin, John Moxley, all them. And Ruby Riott would be great against like Britt Baker, Chris Statlander. You can see it all. Buddy Murphy, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about, so I can't really answer that question.
Yeah.
About yourself?
With me, I'm definitely on board with Aleister Black, Tommy and Ruby Riott. Them 100% makes so much sense. And Buddy Murphy, if he showed up, I would have zero problem with it because while I'm not as familiar, I know, like you mentioned, a lot of his character probably came out in his work with Seth Rollins. I didn't see any of that. But I've seen enough of his in-ring stuff to know the dude can go. So that's all I need to know as far as like, hey, if he can go in the ring like that, he can fit in AEW. Like there is a spot.
Exactly,
I'll be fine with all three, but definitely, I agree with you. Black and Riott, 100%. No doubt. Sign them. Let's go.
Yeah. We'll have to wait for a bit though.
We will. Yeah. Can't sign them just yet.
Can't do anything just yet.
August 31st, right?
Yeah.
That's the 90
and all that
day.
just happens to be a week later. So
right after that.
The next question I have is kind of two people's question kind of together, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So
two people ask a question together.
Yeah, so it's sort of in they link.
Yeah.
Lady Hawk, hello.
Hey.
Is saying here, what's on the agenda for Lance? And then she goes on to say, I'm actually digging the whole new look for Kazarian also. And what are our thoughts on that? And the next opponent for Miro. And then Chris kind of follows out by going, what is like regarding our favorite Lance, what is going on? Seems like he's been in limbo. I thought maybe they were going to do an angle with Sting, and just want to know what our thoughts are on it. So it's like 3 questions in one.
Yeah, and there's.
Should we break them down one by one?
Yeah, what was the first one from Lady Hawk?
So the first one from Lady Hawk was, what's the agenda for Lance? And that's where Chris kind of jumped in with saying that he thought there was going to be something with Sting. And
I'll tell you, each Q&A we've done, there's always a lot of love for Lance.
Yeah, so I think everyone loves Lance.
It lets you know there's a lot of interest in what they're doing with Lance, which I think worries a lot of people too, because we want to see him go somewhere other than losing big matches, and that's what we've seen is that he gets these big match after big match and falls short each time. So
yeah,
we've mentioned it a few times, and I'm still sticking with it. I think that, and we covered this in our Double or Nothing prediction show when we were trying to map out what would happen to Lance if he lost to Miro, and I'm sticking with those guns. I think he's going to have to be rebuilt in a way, not confidence wise, because he looked pretty confident in squashing this dude and walking off on Dynamite. So I think Lance has got that, but it's a mindset thing. Like from a character standpoint, you got to build that character back up. Yeah, and I still think that somehow he's going to get linked with Sting, and we'll see on Dynamite coming up this Friday. Another Friday Dynamite.
I know.
But we'll see. I'm still leaning towards him being involved somehow with Darby's handicap match with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. I still think that's where it's going to go. He may come help, something like that.
Yeah, that's my thoughts as well.
Yeah, so I figured you may agree with me.
Yeah,
and that would be a way if he gets paired with Sting, and I'm not sure what's going to happen to Jake, but he gets paired with Sting, that can get him on the road to, say, mentorship with Sting, but Sting doing the same kind of thing he did with Darby, but with Lance, but in a different way. And ultimately, I hope at All Out, Lance Archer gets a rematch with Miro, and he's the one to vanquish the monster Miro to win the TNT title. And that would be the redemption story for him at All Out, which will not be the only redemption story at All Out. I don't think. I think there will be another one. Adam Page. So
yeah. So then the other part of the question from Lady Hawk was, she's loving Frankie Kazarian's new look, and I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Frankie Kazarian. I love the Elite Hunter gimmick.
It's so good.
It's going to be fun, and the cool thing is, like, you can, with this look and what he's doing, you can get his character over and get this build up for him without him actually having a match. Like, he's not, you're not having to take 15 minutes for a Frankie Kazarian match, which his matches are great, but you can build his character up and involve him with so many different people.
I'd love to see him, Moxley and Eddie Kingston just tear through the Elite, just one by one, just pick them off. I would generally enjoy that.
I'm sure you would. Sure you would.
Could you just imagine like them both like coming from like 3 different angles of like an arena, and like they're all like in khakis or something, and they just roughly look the same. Because like Frankie Kazarian's got an air of Moxley about him at the moment. Like
he does.
It's really like it's really interesting. But yeah, I definitely would. I'd be up for that. Like a trio thing with Moxley, Frankie Kazarian, and Eddie Kingston against any member of the Elite they fancy. Just knock them down one by one. It's like a Q trying to get Hangman Adam Page the belt. I think that's what they should do. Just like make a deal with him, and that's how they go about it.
They have a mission, and that mission is to get the title from Kenny to Adam Page. Yeah.
And as Moxley looks at it, he just like goes, "Be mine again soon." Shelby. And the third part of Lady Hart's question was next opponent for Miro, basically.
Next opponent for Miro. I'm gonna say it's gonna be another Dark Order member. Yeah, I'm gonna, and if I'm picking one just based off of what we saw, if we're gonna we saw in that match, I'm going to go Stu Grayson. I think it's going to be the other member of that tag team of Uno's buddy. I think that's going to be it because Miro did kind of throw him through the barricade during that match. So I think that would make sense. We could see that. And I'd love to see Stu in a singles match against Miro because I think he, we talked about how underrated or underappreciated Angelico is in AEW, and I think Stu is in that same category because Stu is really, really, really good in the ring. I think he'll be a really good singles guy too. So I'd love to see that. I think it'd be fun. He's not going to win, but yeah, I think he'll be the next opponent. Yes, that'll be my pick. Okay, well, I'm going to throw this is the kind of piggyback on what we just talked about there. This is from Tony is All Elite, and he asks, "Is Jake the Snake going to betray Lance?"
No.
No.
I don't know if it's going to be kind of where Lance doesn't betray Jake, but just kind of says, look, it's not worked out me with you. I'm going to try somebody else. It's not you, it's me.
It's not. So you're saying
it is you, it's not me.
Are you saying Jake is going to break up with Lance?
Lance is going to break up with Jake, yeah.
Okay, Lance is going to break up with Jake.
There's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
Yeah, so is he going to do it via text or in person?
No, he's going to do it in person in the middle of the ring with a microphone. It's wrestling. What do you think?
I can just see. Oh, you see Jake walking backstage, checking his phone. And
you know that.
He's got the flip phone.
Gets into a car and drives off.
Oh, that's sad. Okay, so yeah, so you don't think he's gonna? I don't think he's gonna turn on him either. I think there's gonna be some type of breakup. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the way it just played out, but
Jake's gonna go into the Lonely Hearts Managers Club, going, one man with a snake, looking for one wrestler.
But hey, that could be a good callback later, though. If all goofiness aside, if Lance if he's the one that makes the decision to split from Jake, if Jake does come back later with another monster to go after Lance, that could be another way to introduce somebody. Though.
Could you imagine if Jake brings back Aleister Black or like Tommy End?
Oh wow, that'd be great.
Lolsies. Yeah, so
dude, we're doing some serious.
We never thought we'd do a romantic comedy with Lance Archer and Jake the Snake, but there you go.
We got it, and now Aleister's in it. So
yeah, it's a triangle.
This is getting weird.
You never know what you're going to get on this show.
And keep in mind, Sting and Darby are in there somewhere too. So yeah,
they're just looking on from like a window with like rain trickling down it. It's like, what's going on?
Okay.
Don't you love doing these with me?
I do. Yeah, I never know what I'm going to get.
You never know
what I'm going to get. But it's always going to be fun. I can guarantee you that. Well, sometimes it'll be fun.
Yeah, sometimes. All right, the next question for you, sir, is Ted the Hillbilly Heel. Hello.
What's going on?
The question is, they say, I love the ranking system, but do you see this presenting a problem in the future with potential stars like Jade Cargill? Yes, exactly. Or MJF don't wrestle because they rack up wins and they will be in the title picture before their time.
Yeah,
this is a good point.
It is a very good point. And
it is a very good point.
I've thought that sometimes, especially when you see, say, FTR. When you see FTR in the tag rankings, what were they ranked? They're fourth, I think, right now, or something.
Yeah, and they're like or something.
And they're like 4-0. So you look at then you look at the Varsity Blondes at the top, and they're like 15 and whatever. So obviously Varsity Blondes have wrestled a lot more matches. A lot of those matches happening on Dark and Dark Elevation. Than FTR has, because FTR is not wrestling a ton on Dark and Dark Elevation. So yeah, you do run into no. Yeah, so you do run into a problem.
Fancy.
They are. Yeah, they are. And that's a good, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
They got to be real smart with it because you can't, because if FTR had been wrestling as much as the Varsity Blondes have, they're going to be 25-0.
Yeah.
At the top of the ranking, there would be no way around it. So having the factions, I think, really helps with teams like FTR and teams like Santana Ortiz, because you can have them on screen all the time without having them wrestle a ton.
Yeah.
And keeping their matches feel special when they do happen. But you will have a lot of times, and I see that when the rankings come out, they're like, wow, really? FTR's only wrestled 4 times as a tag team in 2021? What the heck? So it does. There could be problems. I think there's ways around it, but you're always going to have those the criticisms because of that, because it's obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, I also think that's why they do like a lot of like number one contender things as well, to kind of jump over them hurdles. I also, for some reason, remember Tony Khan saying the rankings are there as like kind of 50-50, and it also depends on the quality of the wins. I remember him saying something like that. There are ways around it, but if you looked at it just as what it is, you do think, how does this work? Because a ranking system, you expect it to do what it says. Like, you go in the order of people that are like closer to the top and so on and so forth. But also saying that it is also wrestling. So there are ways around it. And I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of the factions and this type of thing. But like you said, this is one way to keep teams and wrestlers on TV, but without them having to clock up the wins. So you're aware that they're there. So when they do wrestle a match, it's not like, well, where the hell have they been? They've always been there. And that is one way that you can kind of overcome the ranking system, I think, like you said. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping AEW know what they're doing, because they've been kind of doing this for like 2 years now. So I'm guessing they've kind of thought about this. But it is a very good question when you look at it like that, going, because I've never thought of it like that before. I was like, the ranking system works, and then when you look at it in black and white, you're like, how? How does it work? But yeah.
And I did remember when they announced they were going to do a ranking system, a lot of people were like, this will never work. Companies have tried this before. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, why couldn't this work? Why? I didn't understand how it couldn't work. But looking at it, and pointed out, there's a lot of holes in it, as far as it's really, and they've done a really good job of playing that game to this point. But you got to think, 5 years down the road, are you going to continue to be able to balance this and then not get ridiculous as far as, hey, come on now, to where it's hard to ignore? So it would not surprise me at all to this point. It wouldn't surprise me in 5 years for the ranking system to be gone. I wouldn't like it to be, because I enjoyed the ranking system. I like looking at it and like, okay, like we talked about with Proud and Powerful, you see their fifth. You can kind of see the progression of how close they're getting, and you want them to get there to where they get the shot at the Young Bucks. So you can visually see, okay, this is what they got to do to get there. So I like that. But it wouldn't surprise me, though, because it does create hurdles for booking. Creatively. So, very good question. Very good question. Oh yeah, my turn now. I'm not used to asking questions.
I know.
I'm used to you asking all the questions. So I'm like, why are we waiting? Give me a question.
I'm sharing the workload.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. All right. Appreciate that. This is from AEW Showcase. Assume we're building to Nyla versus Britt title match at All Out. Who should be in the underneath program building now to become the next title challenger? We know this match is going to come eventually, so who should be being built up for Britt's next challenger?
It's that ranking system again, isn't it? Who's floating about? Let's just have a quick.
I have somebody in mind too.
I have somebody in mind, but I'm just curious as to if they're even on the rankings.
The person I'm thinking of is on the rankings.
Are they?
Yeah. But I'm gonna see if we have the same answer.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Who's yours?
Mine is Tay Conti.
Yeah.
Tay Conti is who I would definitely have start building her up to be Britt's challenger next.
See, I was going Chris Statlander.
Yep, that'd be a good one too.
But
that would be a good one.
And Tay Conti is 15-3.
Yeah, she's what, like third, probably second.
She's second.
Second,
she's above
okay.
Nyla.
Yeah, so you have Nyla jump her somehow, maybe beat her in a well, who's first? First is Thunder Rosa, right?
Yeah.
So Rosa
then
could
then Nyla Rose, then Hikaru Shida, then Nyla, Layla Hirsch.
Now, if Rosa doesn't, because she's getting more involved with NWA now, so if she could drop in the rankings just because of not competing in AEW for a while. That could allow one of the two to jump her. It could lead to a number one contender match between the two, which gives Nyla the shot that we think she's going to get against Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Well, then from that point, you can start building Tay Conti up to where she overcomes Nyla Rose at some point, and then gets her shot at Britt Baker. Which I think Conti versus Baker would be a great match. And I think it would, what we don't have right now with Nyla and Baker, we don't have the face-heel dynamic.
Yeah.
More of a heel thing, which, again, I have no issue with, especially when there's a title involved. Because sometimes just the two villains want the same title, and that's how it's going to work. Or two faces could. But I think it would be a really interesting story to tell with Britt Baker versus Tay Conti with Dark Order behind her. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Could be really fun. Yep. I could see Britt even cutting a promo on -1. I mean, you want to get some heat, cut a promo on -1. That'll do it in front of a live crowd too. I mean, so give me that. But I'll take Chris Statlander too. I mean, as you mentioned with her, you get her built up, and we'll have time to build her up during this whole Britt Baker Nyla Rose thing.
Yeah.
Baker working with Chris Statlander and the Best Friends.
God, yes.
Just all that could be fun. So
just the whole dynamic of that with her and Rebel would be brilliant.
Absolutely, both of those programs could be great. So
yeah,
I'm cool with either one.
Sweet. Next question for you is from Marshall. So the question is, what do you think of a match like this? Kenny, Young Bucks, and the Good Brothers versus Eddie, John, Pac, Ray, and Penta. Yes. Did I mention yes?
Did you answer the question before me? You didn't even give me a chance.
I got excited. Sorry. I just read that going, yeah.
You could barely got the question out before you answered it.
No, I was reading it going, yes. And then no words in my head came into my mouth and then they went out.
Yes, I would be totally fine with that match.
If you'd have said no, I was like,
the podcast just ended. Like canceled. The Twitter. Our Twitter handle's gone. They're gone. I can't find them on Spotify anymore. What happened? So I would be totally cool. Man, a 10-man match with those guys. Shoot, blood and guts too. Let's do it, man.
Yes.
No, might be too soon for that. We may have to wait, but we don't want to overblood.
Like street fight, do it.
Yeah. Something where it's not a. I don't know that I want to see just a straight up 10-man tag match. No. I'm not real big on that. Not that they can't be fun. I've seen some fun ones, but man, just seeing 10 guys in a tag match is not my thing. But yeah, just a street fight kind of thing. Sort of maybe what we saw between Best Friends and Santana Ortiz. That kind of yeah. I'm
cool when
with
Mox
that,
finds another potato.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, true. Yeah. Any scenario that has Mox holding potatoes and throwing them at people, we're cool with. Yep, potatoes as weapons. Let's break out the potato gun this time. Yep. It's getting real. Is this my question? this time?
Yep.
All right, where am I at? Let me scroll up here. I'm not used to finding questions. All right, this is from Mr. Jenkins, Jinko347. I love the way he started this too. Hey, both long-time listener, first-time tweeter. Killing me, man. All right, I'm intrigued by what's going on in Team Taz. I guess we're going down the road of a face turn for Brian Cage, but how can they do this while protecting Ricky?
Ooh.
Take Ricky's neck.
Love Ricky. Love Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I don't know.
And that's it.
Yeah,
moving on to the next question. We have no stinking idea.
See, the thing with Team Taz is like they keep doing like curveballs. Like 1 minute it's like, oh, Ricky's like getting really annoyed, he's gonna go. Then it's like, oh no, Brian Cage is gonna go because he's now got a problem with Ricky. But we can't do much with Ricky because like his fragile, perfect neck. So just every time Ricky runs off, got my neck. I just I laugh so much because of his facial expressions. Just bring me joy. I don't know.
It
really stuck me on this one.
You would think Hobbs basically be protecting Ricky in some type of situation because Ricky is injured.
He could be Ricky's proxy.
And Hobbs ends up being the one to face Cage for now. If something like to where if he does leave, that's the first feud, and he's kind of tied up with Hobbs for a while until Ricky's back. I'm not sure how much longer we have on Ricky, so you could save that match if you want to draw it out to All Out, because I think he would be okay by All Out, if I'm not mistaken.
Or they could do a secret ballot. They could do a secret ballot. so it'd be like, where if you want Brian Cage to stay, you put a red ball in this box. If you want Brian Cage to leave, you put a blue ball in the box. And then depending on how many blue balls and red balls are, it means if he stays or not. Protecting Ricky's neck, so all they have to do is put a ball in the box.
Just put a ball in the box. Oh, dude, Brian Cage, you just got blue ball.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were setting me up for that one or what, but I figured I'd step right in and take it.
I didn't even think about it like that. I was just like, blue balls seem bad, and then I was like, oh, that's why they seem bad.
Yeah, I was like, for sure, she put it on the tee, so she wants me to take a swing at it, so I took a swing at it, and here we are, and you didn't even mean it. So
I didn't even mean it. No, that's pure genius.
Okay. We're there anyway.
Yeah. So you can do that's protecting his neck.
Yeah.
Kind of a water fight.
Have a water fight. A pillow fight.
Yeah, pillow fight. Oh, pillows can be quite hard if you hit them really hard.
Good point. A soft pillow fight. We could have a thumb wrestling contest.
Yeah.
Thumb wrestling match.
Possible.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I mean, that could get really heavy-handed with Brian Cage, though, couldn't it? I mean, his hands
good
are
point.
the size of rocks. So.
If he could just keep doing rock over and over again, you're not going to argue.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are ways. I just don't think they're like wrestling match quality ways. You just wanted to know if there was a way that could be done while I was protecting Ricky. That's a way. You didn't say the wrestling match. Can we just point out?
Oh, they could settle it in a game of Monopoly. They started at the beginning of the show.
Go on.
Yeah.
So long. They'd have to do that at a pay-per-view for the full pay-per-view.
No, it's great. You just started at the beginning of a Dynamite, and like a month later, you just keep coming back to it, like in segments, and they're still playing. Like 4 months later. Oh my gosh, this is ever going to end.
Yeah. There are ways around it, but no, I have, apart from that, no idea how they're going to do it.
Okay.
I think what we might get is they've been drawing this out for such a long time anyway. I think we could have it kind of slowly unraveling, not kind of just like all of a sudden. So,
yeah.
I mean, I will tweet Taz to see if he likes my water gun idea.
Do it.
Yeah, no.
You should. What's bad is like you were getting serious about it, and while you're getting serious talking about it, I'm still trying to think of different goofy ways. I can't stop. I'll be thinking about this question the rest of the show.
Oh dear. So we've not really answered your question, but we had fun while trying.
Yes, we did.
The final one that I've got here is I think this is kind of a callback to a question we've had before from Marshall.
Yeah.
And the question was, what happened with Scorpio Sky and SCU? Nothing was explained, and then suddenly Scorpio is tied up with something else, and the rest of SCU have abandoned. Now, you found a little snippet online.
Yes. Look, Marshall, when we say we'll find you answers, we mean that. Even if it's a month later, we mean that.
Our answers don't make sense, but we always try and find them.
We do. And this came straight from Scorpio Sky's mouth on an interview with Chris Van Vliet, which Chris Van Vliet does some really good interviews with a lot of the AEW guys and other wrestlers too. But this is from Sky. This is a quote. I told Frankie and Chris, you guys have already created your legacy. Anything you do for me is extra. You guys are legends. You have been champions in multiple places as a team and individually. But at the same time, I said if everything ended for all of us, I would be known as the third member of SCU. So I needed to step away and create my own path. That was from Scorpio Sky himself. So him leaving SCU was his decision to go blaze his own path, to do his own thing. And that's what we're seeing now with his involvement with Sting and Darby, and with Ethan Page. So
I mean, he looks like he's having fun while doing it. So
he does. He looks like he's having a blast. I think him and Ethan are really feeding off each other. Yep. So it's been fun so far. Might not be so much fun for Darby in the coming days.
No.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's again. It may take a while, but there's the official answer.
Yeah.
From the man himself.
Yes. We do actual, stuff that makes sense.
We do. We do. And I don't have any more questions. So I'm all out of questions, I think. Yeah. Everything I had written down, this is it. All right. Well, that was fun. Fun. Especially our foray into different ways that Brian Cage and Ricky Starks could fight. That was
if AEW used one of them suggestions, I hope I get some commission or something. I don't know if they thought about it.
Just give us some free tickets, something, man.
How can I have free tickets? I'm stuck in the UK.
Okay, and plane tickets.
Yeah, and a hotel.
Yeah, and a hotel.
Just don't let me meet John Moxley.
We're gonna figure that out too.
So that's it.
Okay. Yeah, that was fun. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We always enjoy answering these questions, and we feel like we're getting more each week. So keep them coming. Absolutely, never know what direction these answers are going to go. So that's what makes these so much fun. It's an adventure every time. I promise you, listen to these Q&As. You will hear something on here. It might not be a smart answer. It might not be, wow, that was such a brilliant, informative answer. But you will always hear something on this show that you will never hear anywhere else. I promise you that. That is
Let's face it, we're not what culture.
No, we're not. But you know what? They're not Beauty and the Beard either.
No,
so
exactly.
That is not necessarily is a bad thing for them either.
No, they're real looking.
That's a compliment from me to What Culture.
Yeah,
you're not us. You're not us.
Yeah, you're fine.
Good job, guys.
Good.
Keep up the good work. All right. So thank y'all for listening. I hope you had as much fun listening to this as we did recording it. Don't forget to follow us. Follow the channel on Twitter at BeautyXTheBeard. You can follow me at Let the Beard Play, and you can follow Sarah at Strange_Pixie.
You can.
And also look out for our. Again, we got this Q&A. We're going to have a topic discussion out this week also, which is going to be about the TNT title future of future matchups that we would like to see for that TNT title.
Yes.
And then we're also going to have the Dynamite review, which will be coming out this weekend because, Dynamite is going to be on Friday again. Last Friday Dynamite. And then we got the one on Saturday, but still, this is the last one on Friday. So, so be looking for that to drop this weekend. That's it. Y'all be good out there. Be nice to each other. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.